Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out. Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out.
In today's NFL, you have to understand there's this thing called hitmen. Hitmen come through and take out problems. They take out people that they need to go. Now, let's say you have a coach that's been mediocre or at best a losing coach since he flopped in the Super Bowl. And taking a record that's just been getting worse and worse under the offensive line, the quarterback, and the defense. Well, then you would have Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn has a Monday night matchup with the Green Bay Packers, and I'm thinking, I need a hitman. And the best hitman I know would happen to be Jake Rongholt of Turning Point Sports, where he tells both sides of the story. Jake, this is unique because Monday night, you're 3-0, they're 0-3. You can finish this off. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, we could definitely finish it off, especially when this guy has not been able to have a successful winning season since he blew it in the Super Bowl 28-3. And now it looks like he can't even get out of the weeks alive. I mean, you know, you lose to the Dallas Cowboys, you get blasted by the Chicago Bears and Nick Foles. Oh, good old Matt Ryan's favorite enemy, Nick Foles, the same Nick Foles that was able to knock out Matt Ryan back in the playoff picture. And one thing for sure, they have not been to the Super Bowl with Dan Quinn since that monumental disaster that is the Super Bowl. And by the way, have you taken a look at their depth chart lately? It reads pretty much like wanted posters. I have no idea who in the world is lining up at secondary right now outside of safety Ricardo Allen. AJ Terrell is out right now. And then they also have, you know, Deion Jones and Keanu Neal, and God only knows how long that's going to take. Those guys have been injury prone since they were drafted by Tom Dimitroff. And by the way, Tom Dimitroff, the same guy that traded up majority of his draft to get Julio Jones. And how many Super Bowls has Julio Jones brought you? That would be 0. And it's a mess right now with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't understand. Dan Quinn should have been fired 2 years ago. 2 years ago, because he's not been able to have a winning season. What, because he had a second half of the season where he actually didn't absolutely embarrass himself? Oh, let's bring him back. And then I don't understand how if you're going to fire Dan Quinn, you should fire Tom Dimitroff. Outside of building up the offensive line, the quarterback, and the wideouts, everything else has been an absolute mess. By the way, why didn't you bring back Vic Beasley? He was actually starting to get healthy, and now you put him in Tennessee. And Desmond Trufant, where is he? Oh, he's with the Detroit Lions. I don't understand how Tom Dimitroff, Dan Quinn continuously have their jobs. Not to mention, outside of that NFC Championship game, Aaron Rodgers has owned you. And he's going to own you this time around with Aaron Jones. Outside of Alan Lazard, who is out for indefinitely with an injured core muscle, it doesn't matter. Next man up. One thing that the Atlanta Falcons don't know what the meaning of the word is, next man up. The Green Bay Packers do. If Marquez Valdes-Scantling doesn't get the ball, Aaron Jones will. If Aaron Jones doesn't get it, Jamal Williams will. Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur are going to plan an amazing game plan where it's going to be like 31-10 at halftime. To heck with the Falcons until they fire Dan Quinn and Tom Dimitroff together. The Atlanta Falcons are never getting back to the Super Bowl.
2 questions. How do you feel about this Tunyon and Jay Sternberger tight end duo? And Monday night, can Aaron Rodgers and that offense put the nail in the coffin in Dan Quinn's coaching career?
Unfortunately, no, because Arthur Blank is going to keep him around at least for another 3 to 4 games. That's just how Arthur Blank works. He doesn't want to be able to, panic the fan base, even though this fan base has been on panic mode pretty much since that Super Bowl. Not to mention, I'm glad you brought up Jay Sternberger and Robert Tonyan. They actually had a great breakout game with Sternberger, had 2 receptions, big-time yardage. And then Robert Tonyan, who has come out of absolute nowhere. He was a college receiver, and he definitely has the hands of a receiver to prove it. If these 2 tight ends with Sternberger and Tonyan can get things rolling, it could take away that lack of wide receiver depth for the Packers. It's amazing how loaded this football team is on offense. The only way that the Atlanta Falcons are going to get some points is that the defense forgets who they are, just like they did against the Saints with Alvin Kamara.
Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Robert Tunyon, Jay Sternberger, Devontae Adams will be back. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Lazard won't be gone for long, and then you pair him with that bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
9 touchdowns in 3 games. Crazy.
And no picks. I think LaFleur and Rodgers are getting along.
They have been getting along.
Final cut, Jake. Say what you want to say about expectations for Monday night and who to watch out for.
The expectations are, I know that Allen Lazard is out for a couple of games, and that's just how it goes. But the Packers, like I said, know how to play the role of next man up. If it's not going to be Valdez-Scantling, it could be Malik Taylor. It could be Darius Shepard. All I know is that with the way that Matt LaFleur game plans and has his team ready to go, they're going to be locked and loaded to take on this Atlanta Falcons defense that pretty much runs like they have never played defense before. Their pass defense is ranked 26th. Their rush defense is respectable with 13th. The only way I could see the Atlanta Falcons waking up and knocking off the Packers is that if they are trying to outscore them, or if they get Todd Gurley and Brian Hill to go. Keep in mind, they did have over 136 yards against the Chicago Bears last week. It could be a possibility that they could be able to stay in the game a little bit, but I don't feel like they have the firepower for it. Outside of Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones, I don't know what to expect from this Atlanta Falcons team because they don't know how to play 4 quarters. The Green Bay Packers have proven that they have the team that is ready to fight all 4 quarters. I got the Packers winning this one 38-17.
Jake Rongholt picking it up and dropping it. Shut it down. Thank you. Turning Point Podcast. Check this man out. The Hitman, Jake Rongholt. The Carousel. Either
Thanks,
you're on or you're off.
Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.